Good morning. Today is Tuesday, April 8th, 2025. And even if you watch this in 500 years from now, this message applies to you. It's all about the synchronicity. Welcome to the Dragon Dreams Soul Tribe Collective. My name is Gina Virginia Casella, and this is in honor of the New Moon Wisdom Weavers. If you join the membership, the New Moon Wisdom Weavers, you get to meet with me once a month as a collective. We do opening and closing of sacred space, fire ceremony, and I do a collective gemstone reading. Takes about an hour. And as an exclusive bonus to the New Moon Wisdom Weavers, you get this mini gemstone readings. I guarantee at least 4 a month, but basically you get them almost daily. So who am I? My name is Gina Virginia Casella. I mentioned that before. You can learn all about me on my website, ginavirginiacasella.com. I would love if you joined my Facebook group. It's free. It's called the Dragon Dreams Soul Tribe Collective. It's a great place to connect with other dragons, post pictures of your dream journals. Let me know how your spiritual autonomy is going. And I would adore if you registered for one of my programs. Join one, join them all. Let me know which one your favorite is. And the month of April 2025 is free. And then next month, starting in May, most of my content is exclusive to the paid members only. And you don't have to worry about me taking the first couple of minutes to introduce myself. I just dive right into things like I'm going to do right now. So what is the special message for today? Well, before I pulled this card, the emphasis was on how everything is in check. Everything is aligned. The mental plane is a little bit off, but otherwise everything is flowing and in check. So like transforming and transcending, that's in check. The physical plane, that's in check. Loosening and letting go, shedding skins, that is in check. Perspective has shifted a little bit and the mental plane is a bit down. Why? What's going on? Well, we're always being reminded that we are in charge of our stories. And ultimately, we need to do what makes us happy. And some of you listening out there are like, you know what? I'm tired of hearing stuff like that. Follow your heart, do what makes you happy. But I'm telling you, folks, that's what's being reinforced. Like, I get it. You can't always do what you want to do because it doesn't pay your bills, for example, or you don't have the money to kickstart it, to go buy the, resources. But what can you do on your becoming list so that you can be one step closer to that goal? And sometimes we actually need to take a step back because we're missing something, there's not enough quality, and or we're being steered into a different direction. So temperance comes to mind. Everything is impermanent. So despite how hard you try to have permanency in your life, things are not intended to last forever. So let me know how that translates for you. Something to give you an example. Maybe, you're a homeowner and you have been living in a place finally for 25 years, and all those trees you planted are now like nice and big and hardy and whatnot, and you get to see all the fruits of your harvest over the years. Like how would that example relate? It's easy for me to give examples. Yeah, I always like to connect and hear how you're connecting. Um, but the thing is that those trees, even though they're big and hardy, they're still temporary, and depending on windstorms and whatnot, they might die. You might have to cut one down because maybe it becomes a hazard. Um, but then I pulled this card here, and it really tugged on my heartstrings. Um, and this impermanency and this idea of pirates always in search of gold, and the pirates always realize that the gold never mattered. It was the spending time together. That was the gold. That was the treasure. All the memories that they created in search of gold. That was the actual gold. So part of us, I know it sounds weird, but part of us desires not to find the gold. Because once we find the gold, well, then what? We just go look for more gold, okay? And then we fall down this rabbit hole of things are never enough. We're just always in search of gold, looking for more gold. Well, stop looking for the gold and look around you. See the gold around you. The people, the animals, the nature, just like the pirates, that's the gold. The example I gave about the homeowner planting trees and now it's been 25 years. Like, you might think, oh, these trees are huge. That's the gold, these big giant trees. Well, really, the gold was you planting those trees, you over the years watching those trees grow, you over the years on those hot, sunny days taking the hose and just letting it drain at the base of the tree, making sure it gets its water, that was the gold. So, what is the gold in your life? And this story, once upon a time, that's how a lot of stories start. And my cat Spooky died, so I got Rosie first, and a few weeks later I got Spooky. Rosie's the one with the blue eyes, and oh my God, they were so cute when they were kittens. And I just delighted every morning singing songs to them, brushing them. I had wipes for their fur. I would give them a very quick bath once in the spring, once in the fall. And eventually, when they got older, it was just like using wipes. They really didn't like the baths. And I had a special basket that I kept their things in. And I just really delighted in that experience. It was our special time. And then in the mornings, I would read on the balcony with them. And this was just paradise, This is me. There's Spooky. There's Rosie with her blue eyes. And we moved. So then I had stairs, and I had this big silky pajama dress I would wear. And I felt like I was some kind of ancient seeress walking around in a cold castle or something. And I'd have my candle with me. I was getting into my spirit work, and I'd walk down the stairs to get coffee, and the cats, they would just run down the stairs and dance around me. And then when Spooky died, he was only 6 years old, and I remember he was hanging out by his water dish, and I just knew that he wasn't just sick, that he was dying. Like I could smell it, the oil in his fur. I just, on a subconscious level understood that, but consciously I didn't. I was making the connections, and basically the next day I took him to the vet and he didn't come home. And when I think about impermanence and the gold in my life and the treasures, it's really just these moments of not much going on, literally having a little routine in my small little world. This is ultimately all that mattered to me. I had a phenomenal teaching career, but as you can see in this picture, there's nothing to do with that. I have a lot of travel experience. As you can see in this picture, there's nothing to do with that. And I did an activity where if I could draw my life, a picture, just one little picture of me in paradise, what would it look like? And that picture looks like this, me on my balcony with the cats. And when I redid this activity, I basically drew the same picture. And I did it a third time and I drew the same picture. So I know that the treasures in my life, the gold in my life, is what many might consider not golden at all, hanging out. But to me, that is priceless. And, even if I was like a billionaire and I had money for a giant acreage, and honestly, I think I'd really just be happy in a condo on a balcony with the opportunity to go to a place that has lots of acreage and whatnot. But honestly, just, what a piece of paradise. And at this time in my life, I've had to say goodbye to so many materialistic things, like just such a purge. And those treasures, if you will, like my furniture and pots and pans, like those I considered to be gold, and I had to get rid of that gold. But that gold is all around us. And life and life's highlights flow just like water and just like anything else. Money, people, relationships. So there's always so much to say. So I actually had to take a few minutes. I felt emotional about today's reading, especially when I pulled this card. It's 2025. Spooky died in 2024, early November. And at that time in my life, I didn't really process his death. And last summer, I was just kind of starting to process it and giving myself credit where credit is due. Me and my little family, me and my 2 cats. That this is our story. Once upon a time. So the story goes on. It's myself and Rosie these days. And like pirates, we continue to look for gold. But the gold that we are in search of these days are these exact experiences, doing what brings us joy. Gemstone readings, Dragon Dreams Oracle, the writing my books, cooking with Gina. I don't have access to the kitchen like I used to. I had to stop cooking with Gina, but I'd like to do that again. If I can't get a trailer at the beach, maybe I can a condo at the beach. Maybe I can get a trailer at the beach is what I meant to say. How can I manifest things? What's one step that I can take? How can the treasures and gold dance around me? How can I dance around the treasures and gold? How do we say goodbye to the biological treasures around us? All right. Let me know in the comments how you relate. Today, the emphasis is on following your heart. Really follow your heart and do what brings you joy. All right. Today, I'm going to be thinking extra about spooky, and I always have a candle burning, but today I'm going to burn it in honor of honoring the treasures in my life, and spooky was absolutely a real gem, a real treasure. Okay. So I hope that resonates with you. Tomorrow is Wednesday, and I will be live, so I won't be providing a mini gemstone reading, which makes sense because this one here seems like there's a lot to reflect on. Even though everything's in check, follow your heart. It's not easy. Follow it. Okay, this time for real. Have yourselves a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you next time. Take care for now. Bye.